Hello, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to diagnose a no start or no crank issue on an ATV or motorcycle with electric start. And what I mean by that is when you turn your key, you get power. You're going to get your neutral light, your cluster will light up and power on. Your lights will work. When you got this in the run position, your push button start though, it won't crank the ATV. Now you can open up this and there's points inside of here that make contact, and sometimes those points do get corroded, and you can take a little piece of sandpaper and when you open it up you can clean those points, and sometimes that can be it. But the first thing I would check is your solenoid, and your solenoid is basically in between your battery and your starter. And what it does is this button here, when you hit it, it sends voltage to the trigger wire on your solenoid, and it causes it to make connection, and that solenoid closes circuit and connects the positive to turn your starter motor. And the way you can test to see if it's a solenoid, if you just need a little simple test light here. Now I've got one side hooked up to the negative on the battery. You can also just ground it to metal on the frame. Let me go ahead and try to put this phone somewhere where you can see good. Sorry guys, I'm just doing this with a phone here. So nothing fancy, but I'm going to show you where I'm going to put this. So this right here, and this is on a Polaris 400 Sportsman. So you may have a little different setup on a different ATV, but typically there's going to be a trigger wire. And that's what like I said, the voltage comes from that button down there, the trigger wire, and triggers the solenoid to close circuit. So I'm going to try to turn this test light where you can see it, but I'm gonna put this right here on this trigger wire's terminal, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button. You see how that's lighting up red? That means that it's getting 12 volts to that trigger wire. So the ATV, the wiring is good, and your battery's good, everything. The trigger wire's sending the voltage, but the problem is you have a bad solenoid. Now these solenoids, they're really cheap. You can get them on Amazon, or there's several other parts websites where you can get them. And they're typically under $20. But if you're in a jam and you don't have pull start or another way to start this, just get you a screwdriver and you can cross these two terminals right here. And then your ATV will start. And that's essentially what your solenoid is doing, is via that trigger wire. It's just closing that circuit and connecting the terminals internally to send that signal to your starter motor to start your ATV. But I just wanted to make this video to hopefully help someone out. And like I said, that's a quick check if your ATV is not starting. Of course, the first thing I would check is make sure you have good battery voltage. And if you got a multimeter, you can hook it up and just make sure you got 12 volts. And like I said, before opening this up and messing with that, I would just go ahead and check your solenoid and make sure that it's getting signal to your trigger wire on it. And then you can try jumping it with a screwdriver, and if the ATV starts, then you got a bad solenoid. All right, you guys have a good day.